I'm Victoria Chick. I'm a painter, I'm a print collector. I'd like to show you some ways to hang your artwork at home. When you're hanging pictures in a home situation, there are several rules that are useful to follow, even though they're not rigid rules. The first thing you have to think about is balance. It doesn't have to be symmetrical, because there are other kinds of balance. And most of the time in a home situation, informal balance is what you're looking for. As you see behind me, the focal point is this large horse painting. On either side of it are black and white lithographs. Notice that they're about the same size, but they don't actually balance each other from the size standpoint. They are both very powerful in their black and white contrast, though, so they hold up against each other. The other thing that's useful to think about is lighting up either the top or the bottom of the frame. Here we have a corner where the paintings are pretty much the same height. In this corner, there's a difference, but there's also other objects over here which help to balance against these two larger paintings of the piano over in the right-hand corner. Sometimes you'll have architectural features that will be features that you can't change, you have to work around them. For instance, in this house, we have these large log posts that are attached to trusses up above. We also have built-in lights here, and we have this cabinet that is built in. So you have to decide what you can put in there that works, what won't be too complicated with what you already have, and how you can put the arrangement so it flows. Your eye flows around the room. So in this case, we've worked with smaller items. We've used a variety of items here to keep it interesting. Some are soft, some are hard-edged. Over here, balancing two smaller works against one larger work helps to prevent the wall from becoming boring. If we had equal-sized paintings on either side of this light, it would be balanced, but it would also be very static and be in danger of being a boring wall. Hallways are always tricky. The longer they are, the harder it is to work with the space. What we try to do is to break the space up, break the length up, so that your work is clustered rather than just even all the way down, so that you have the same space between paintings. Instead, we want to develop a syncopation with the kind of work we have. At the same time, we want to have a unifying arrangement, and we can do that with the level of the top, the level of the bottom, or in some cases, stacking equally long works and putting something shorter between them. You can see a better example of that here. Here are actually three different size works. The weight of these, being black and white, balance each other, while we just have this small painting in the center. That kind of gives you a variety. Lighting can also be important in a hallway. In this hallway, we used recessed spotlights to go across to light these paintings here. There's another light over on this side coming this way. So you're kind of bouncing back and forth in the light at the same way, and at the same time that you are focusing on this grouping of work here, and then your eye comes over here and looks at this group of work. If you have an extremely long hallway, you can also break up the space on the floor with area carpet. It's very effective. You especially see a lot of this in the Southwest. Although you try to put the corresponding size piece of artwork on a corresponding size wall, so that they go together, every once in a while it's kind of fun to try something different. And that's what this is. This is a fairly big wall here, fairly vacant corner. And I put this here on purpose. I was hoping that it would attract people to go over close to it to see what what it is, what it says on here. And so far, in 2 years, nobody has looked at it up close. So I think that's really kind of neat. It either says, my idea is not working, people are not that interested, maybe they're slightly afraid of it. I'm not sure. But what it says is, art is all over. This is an example of breaking the rules in a small space where I have a fairly large painting over here. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but if you have a large painting that has simple enough shapes, I think that in this case it works pretty well. And also in this section of hallway, I've got an oriental rug on the floor, which does help to break the space up a bit. One way of arranging artwork is doing it by topic. If you have several pieces of work that are, say, are landscapes like this, this is a good way to tie things together from a topical standpoint. Another issue to think about when you're clustering paintings that we talk about being related to each other is the fact that your frames need to always be in line with each other, need to be straight one against the other in relationship to each other. So if one is just a little bit off like that, it ruins the entire effect. So if you're an inveterate picture straightener, this is something that you will, arrangement you might like, because you can always make sure frames are straight. As you can see, the top of this painting is equal to the top of this painting. It's in line with it. These are almost the same width, not quite, so I've centered this one against this one. So there's equal amounts here on either edge. One way you can assure yourself of these pictures hanging straight is to put in 2 picture hangers or 2 nails instead of 1. They're much less likely to tilt. In many homes, lighting from the outside is a big factor. Homes today have large windows that let a lot of light in. This can create a situation that you really need to think about when you're hanging artwork. For instance, if you have a painting, a window, like we have here, 2 large windows, and you hang a piece of work between them, oftentimes someone coming into the room will have a hard time seeing the artwork because the windows are too bright. However, the artwork may look really great at night because the interior light will shine on it, and this light is coming down. So, and they're also bouncing off the ceiling, so you have a lot of indirect lighting in this room in the nighttime hours. Okay, we're in a very well-lighted room right now. Sometimes during the day, the sun may come directly into the windows in this room. So you want to consider, if you have a room like this, what kind of artwork you're going to put in there. Generally speaking, fine prints are not going to work because they will be damaged by the sun. Acrylic painting will work because it can stand up to this direct light from the sun. Oil painting is a bad idea. It can be damaged. But photographs like this or artwork that maybe doesn't have that much intrinsic value is okay, but it will be damaged. I mean, over a period of time, the sun can be very, very destructive.